Hello, hello, hello there. Margaret Lloyd here. Eternal shift, new life. Let's see what we can what we got here. So, we're going to talk about whom does a narcissist respect? Truthfully, I'm just going to tell you my thoughts on it. They don't respect anybody. They don't even respect themselves. But we'll see. Here are the people narcissists absolutely respect. People they can't have. If you want to hook a narcissist into a relationship that is just based on a sexual, non-committed relationship, just fuck their brains out and don't call them. Show no interest in them whatsoever. This piques their curiosity. If you actually show like you love them, they think you're weak. What do I do with my candies? This is where I brought them in here. Okay. They will never be attracted to you. I can guarantee that. If you act like you're interested, nah, they want nothing to do with you. Someone who is successful at what they do, they don't give a shit what you do in the slightest. But if you're successful, they want a piece of your ass they can show to friends. You're an object to show around, a temporary trophy. Yeah, I can see that. Anyone who has power over another person, the narcissist will like the asshole boss you work for, the dictator of Zimbabwe, the leader of the Congo, the Taliban, Ted Bundy, your local police chief, the whack job carrying an AK-47 down the middle of the road. They want a piece of that. If you're drop dead gorgeous, they respect you absolutely. That is until they've slept with you. Now that you've slept with them, you're just another number at the deli. And they've moved on to the kosher one that's down the street. How to keep a narcissist interested? Not that I'd want to, but there is a way. So you need to act like you're not interested in them, and then they'll want you. Because narcissists like things they can't have. And those things which are seen to be of some special value to them. If you have something they're after, whether it be money, good social connections, an empathetic nature which they find appealing, good looks, and or prospects to fulfill their sexual needs, or if you're otherwise are seen as someone with good potential supply and offer, then the narcissist may find themselves having a keen interest in you. But if you want them to remain interested in you, if you want them to continue to see you as high value supply, then they must see you as a flight risk. They must never quite know where you stand with them. If you are high value supply with lots to offer, but they see you as needy, dependent on them, you are substantially devalued. They may still want to keep you around, but in that unsettling devaluation zone where you lose yourself more with each passing day. That's why relationships with narcissists don't work. Not in a healthy way anyway, absolutely. Mine was so unhealthy. Like I said, he almost killed me. The target can only have it good when they are steadily in that middle ground where the narcissist thinks the target is about to become ensnared by them, but has not yet been ensnared. Boy, the helicopter's been flying low. If the target is all in, or if the target loses all interest, it's done. Over. History. It's all about playing the middle ground, which is where the target comes across as keenly interested in the narcissist, but not yet all in. Still a flight risk in that wobbly zone. Oh, excuse me. To survive the narcissistic relationship, you must keep playing the game. You have no break. Such game playing is never a long-term solution. If you want a short-term adrenaline rush, then perhaps go for it. Go right ahead. But maybe the short-term narcissistic entanglement is right for you. If you want a healthy long-term relationship, then look for it in the right place, elsewhere. Know what you are up for. I'll be right back. I gotta go get me. I'm back. Had to get me some water. All right. This next question: how do narcissists fix themselves after cheating? The narcissist is already fully fixed. I didn't know they needed to be fixed after they cheated. There exists no completer narcissist or more complete narcissist than a narcissist who just cheated. Because narcissists cheat to feel good about themselves. The combination of that instant gratification and massive betrayal is their life elixir. They feel like the best person in the world for getting someone new to cave to them and giving you the punishment you deserve. Don't be fooled by the narcissist telling you that they feel some type of way for cheating on you. No, they don't. Don't listen to them. Don't stand there listening to the most brain-damaging material known to mankind. The narcissist isn't sorry. They can't be sorry. They don't know sorry. The narcissist doesn't feel like they did something wrong. The narcissist is on top of the world. Stop pretending that the narcissist is normal. They actually need the opposite of wholesome to function. Boy, I wish these people would quit calling me. They never say anything. I just get these phone calls and then they hang up on me. They don't leave me a message. But a narcissist was broken before they cheated. But now they're fixed. They're fixed because they cheated. Okay. Something weird was on my phone. But they're fixed. Complete. Good night and goodbye. Because they are complete. They don't need anything else. They're all that they have. They're all they need. What is the commander personality that control narcissists? Can you learn that? Well, let's see if we can learn how to be a commander of a narcissist. It's very easy to control a narcissist, okay, and to give a narcissist injury. Wish I had known this a long time ago. If you want to do this, may I advise you that it will take no responsibility for what might happen to you. I will take no responsibility of what might happen to you. Narcissists are dangerous, absolutely. And out of control lunatics, absolutely. I know that. Was married to one for 38 years. Bear with me. Popcorn, there we go. It is best to leave them behind. That's the number one. If you run into a narcissist, you realize that they are a narcissist, bye-bye. Leave them alone. Get out of their way. Stay away from them. They're not worth it. Okay, with that out of the way, here's how to control a lower spectrum narcissist. You flip the script. And it's hard to do. You flip the script instead of being on the defensive, because you always are with a narcissist. Instead of defensive mode, you go into offensive mode. I always had trouble getting into the offensive mode. Okay. You put a mirror back onto them of their feelings. You do this in a non-threatening, non-emotional manner. You are the commander of your emotions. So what you need to do, be sure that you have your emotions in control and you have command of your emotions. You direct the conversations. Think of yourself as a doctor giving your prognosis to a patient that is very ill. Reflecting back onto the patient just how their behavior is causing them harm to their health. Just like I'll be in a month in Texas doing my victim impact statement. And I'm going to give my impact statement exactly like this. Very precise, to the point. And I'm going to give it to the judge. I'm not going to speak to him. But the reason narcissists behave as they do is to be able at all costs to not reflect and look inside themselves. Because they don't want to look inside themselves and see what assholes they are. They can't. That would destroy them. Why would they want to look at themselves and see how mean and nasty they are? When they say something to you like, wow, your work has just only improved slightly, it's okay, you could use more practice. You could say, well, you seem angry. You seem upset. Is something frustrating you? Is something bothering you? Hold the mirror up to them. Reflect back to them their emotional states. When they get negative, and they will, even though mine said he never was negative. Oh, God. Please. But when they get negative, and like I said, they will, you could say something like, you have difficulty being positive, don't you? You hate happiness, right? Don't you? Be appreciative. Life is short. I love giving it back to them. When they try to get you angry and start yelling at you, you could say, you enjoy abusive behavior, don't you? You enjoy starting fights, right? State their feelings, nothing more. Do not get in an argument. Stay calm and be the ninja. If they fly off the handle, leave with no explanation. It has nothing to do with you. They can not reflect on these emotions. They want you to focus on you, so you never look at them. Turn it around and reflect the mirror back to them. With some such malignants and psychopaths, this won't do a thing. I'm sorry to say. It will actually make them feel superior to you. It may actually do great harm to you. Well, I'll put it to you this way. They couldn't do any more harm to me than mine did. I mean, he almost killed me. You know, one thing that I wonder, and I don't know, I'll have to look into it. Here's something good. This is good, interesting. How to read people without them knowing it. I need to learn this. I think this will be good for all of us. Absolutely. All right, so let's see. How to read people without them knowing it. People who cross their legs as soon as they sit down tend to have strong ambitions and proactive attitudes. People who habitually touch their chins while speaking are generally cautious in their actions. Those who often cross their arms over their chests usually have strong opinions, but can be also quite stubborn. That was my mother. When someone looks surprised for more than 3 seconds, it's definitely a fake. If they mirror your body language, the conversation is likely going very well. If a person laughs too much, even at stupid things, he is lonely deep inside. Finally, if their inner voice goes up and down, they're most likely interested. That was interesting to learn. Okay, that's about all I have for today. I'm trying to see if there's anything else in here. I love Quora. I really do. I get a lot of stuff out of there. What type of person stays with a narcissist long term? Good question. I like to hear this answer because I did for 38 years. Yeah, it's not a good thing. We just have to get rid of narcissists. That's all there is to it. We need to do everything we can to stay away from them because they will destroy us. That's their lot in life, is to destroy good people. Like I said, I was with my husband for 38 years. I'm going to have to say, of those 38 years, maybe 25 of them were bad. 13 or 18 were pretty good. We're okay. But those years that weren't, they weren't. So let me read this. I'm going to read this to you all. This is my final victim impact statement. On May 11th, 22, Martin and I got into an argument in the kitchen. Mom was eating her breakfast. Martin got mad at me because I didn't want to invite guys over for sex and slapped me. That was the first time he had ever hit me. I told him then, I gave him a barrier. If you ever hit me again, we are done. I will divorce you. For 2 weeks prior to his final attack, we were talking about an easy, peaceful divorce and how he would pay Mom her $10,000 from savings, but that never happened. It was October 8th, the day of the OU Texas game. We'd been outside working in the front yard. We got into a big argument outside about how I was too stupid to operate the power washer. Neighbors were all out and witnessed his abuse. We finished our work outside, went inside. We got cleaned up for lunch. Martin asked me for a glass of grape juice, so I poured him a large glass. He yelled that he wanted a small glass. I told him drink what he wanted. I would finish what was left. Martin told me that he wanted to have guys come over to watch the game, and with each touchdown, one of the guys would get oral sex. I told him no. I was fixing him a sandwich, and he came into the kitchen, knocked everything off the counter, onto the floor, and told me that I was too stupid to make a sandwich and to get out of his fucking way. I did move, and the next thing I know, he slaps me across the face, knocking my glasses to the floor. I grabbed my cell phone and started dialing 911, and he hit my left hand and knocked my phone to the floor, breaking my hand and phone. Next thing I remember, his hands are around my neck. He's saying, I'm going to kill you. I can kill you. I will. At the top of his lungs. I thought I was dying because I saw my life flash before my eyes. My mother heard this and yelled, stop acting like children before someone gets hurt. When he let go, I fell to the floor and I urinated my pants because I lost consciousness. I jumped up, grabbed my phone and glasses. I ran to my bedroom to change clothes, but he followed me and I jumped on the bed to avoid his reach and ran to my mother's room and closed the door. I knew he would not come in. He knocked on the door saying, if the police show up, we are done. I told him, you slapped me, we were done. I called the police, they came, arrested him, took my clothes that were ruined. My mother and I went to the hospital to have x-rays, CT, and lab tests were done. My left hand was broken. It had to be put into a cast. While at the hospital, I had to ignore calls from Denton County Jail to bail Martin out. We were in the hospital until 9 p.m., approximately 4 hours. Then the Denton jail called me at 11 p.m., advising me that Martin had been released on bail. I decided I would sleep in the living room in case Martin decided to come to the house after being told there's a restraining order. I got my .38 out of the gun safe. At around midnight, I hear someone at the front door putting in a code on the door. I yelled, "If that door opens up, you will be shot." Martin stopped and asked for clothing, wallet, and glasses. I told him to get off the property and I would get it for him. I went and got his stuff, looked through the peephole. He was at the street. I opened the door with gun in hand. And threw his things out to the driveway and told him never to come back. I saw him leave. I barely slept that night in the chair all night long because I knew he could get into the house without me hearing him if I slept in the bedroom. On Sunday, I had the locks changed on the front door. The following Monday, I went to the attorney's office and started divorce proceedings. Later that day, I had to go to the Best Buy to replace my phone at the cost of $500. Tried to get reimbursement from the state for victims of abuse, but only got $100 for my clothing and the phone. Next day, I received a text from Martin wanting clothing so he can go see an attorney. I got a black trash bag and put his suits and shirts in. I put it by the garage door and told him to get them within 2 hours or they go in the trash. I saw my neighbor outside a few hours later, and she said she saw him pick the bag up in an Uber. Martin kept emailing me about wanting to get back together, which I ignored. And the last was about seeing a counselor. I told Martin that seeing a counselor at this time will not be happening because I gave him my limits and I have filed for divorce. I had to move from Denton, Texas because I did not feel safe. I remember one day in Albertsons where a man walked up to me asking me if I was hot Granny Peg. I was so embarrassed and knew at that point I would have to move. That's it. And I did. And that's what I'll be saying to the judge next month. So with that in mind, peace, love, like, comment, share, super thanks, super likes are always welcome, and know that I love you all. And please give me some comments. I love to get comments. Come on, people. I want to talk about what you want to talk about too. So tell me what you want to talk about. Have a wonderful evening.